welcome to the Sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Modern Open in Charlotte, part of the SCG Tour, brought to you by Ultimate Guard. I'm Nick Miller, alongside Pieter Tubergen for a player spotlight. And people might know you for a couple of reasons. I always knew when I was walking around tournaments, I'd see the Pepsi hat.
Yep.
But there's also the affinity thing. And you've been playing this deck for a long time to a lot of success. You won the Secret Open, as we call it, at part of the Invitational there in Roanoke. And you had a pretty tough top 8 too.
Yeah.
We want to talk to you about affinity and your prowess for the deck, when you picked it up, and why this deck is still relevant.
Yeah, I started playing it around when Theros came out. It was like kind of the budget deck at the time. I just like played a few tournaments with it and just had a lot of fun. Lots of really powerful interactions. Lots of, just have a lot of draws that are really good against whatever they're doing, and you can play it in kind of this like reactive way where you react to their removal spells while also pressuring them to just like put them in all these lose-lose situations, and that part of the deck just like really appealed to me, and I've just been playing it since then. Yeah,
you and a couple other players I can recall just are always on one deck. You know, you ain't messing around. You play this deck a lot, and I think Affinity is one of the few decks that, well, one of the decks that really exemplifies mastery of a deck.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you play this deck over and over again, tournament after tournament, you're going to find wins where other players aren't. So have you been in any of those scenarios this weekend where you've super creative lines or anything like that?
There's been a few of them. I had a match against Todd on camera that involved, he was trying to fatal push my Blinkmoth Nexus that was going to block his Snapcaster, and I got to like animate my other Blinkmoth Nexus, pump it with the one that was getting pushed, block, and then pump itself to like not die to the Snapcaster mage and just eat it. Just like little things like that. Like I might not have found that line a couple years ago or whatever, but yeah, things like that. Lots of just determining like, okay, am I favored to like find a kill here if I like take a point of damage to cast Thoughtcast, and then am I like reasonably likely to find a kill, or am I damaging myself and like putting myself dead to another card? And a lot of that is just like kind of second nature at this point.
Where does one learn these things with this, with this deck? Because you've seen a bunch of people master this deck, and then they always play it. You know, do you watch them, or do you read about it, or where do you find all the?
I'll read any article about Affinity. I just like always like hearing what other people have to say about it, whether I like disagree or agree or learn something from it. It's just good to get other people's perspective. A lot of it just comes from playing a lot. I think it was, I want to say it was Frank Carson, it might have been Alex Mataton was saying the best way to learn Affinity is just play the mirrors, because most of the time your board is more important than whatever they're doing, and the mirror is just like you're doubling down on. You have to analyze two boards at the same time to try to get a lot of that math going a little bit quicker. So.
Okay, so you've got another top 8 locked up, so that's going to be 2 in this season, so not bad, going for a second open win. Tell us about your team, because we saw this team pop up a little bit ago. I know some of the guys on the Pieter Tubergen team, Caleb, Kevin Jones, people like that. How's the team been going?
Oh, I mean, it's been great. It's a lot of really talented players. We've been doing pretty well at a lot of the tournaments. I think we had several people live for top 8 of the Invitational, multiple open champions on the team, and yeah, trying to remember exactly when we started, but yeah, we've been around for a bit now, and it's just a lot of really good players, and we all want to win, and it's been great.
As for you, as people might not know you, what else do you do outside of Magic? And then after that, what are your Magic goals? Because I've seen you around the tournament scene for a while.
I'm in school right now. I have a day job, which is whatever. Yeah, I play a lot of Magic. I just really like Modern, really like the competitive aspect of it. Yeah, Magic-wise, like obviously the Pro Tour goals are nice, the Open goals are nice. Some like room for like the personal branding stuff is cool, but like not really sure how far into that I want to go. I kind of just gonna see what happens with that. Honestly, I just like playing and I like winning, and that's why I keep doing it.
Do you really like Pepsi, or do you just like the hat?
Oh, so this hat, I've had this story a few times. So my grandfather passed away a couple years ago. He collected a lot of hats, just acquired them throughout his years, and he was a truck driver for Pepsi in the 60s or 70s, and they gave him this hat, and it was just one of the hats in the collection, and me and all the cousins took a couple hats each just as a way to remember him, and just thought it was a sweet hat, and just wear it all the time now.
Well, that's awesome. That's a nice little remembrance there.
For sure.
Right. Well, hopefully you have another successful top 8 here, putting on a great run, so thanks for joining me here in the Sideboard.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to StarCityGames.com all weekend long for the action here in Charlotte.